Hey everyone,
Hey, what's up,
welcome
y'all?
back to our channel,
Totally Tate.
I'm Crystal.
And I'm Joshua.
And if you're new here, welcome.
Yes, welcome to our channel. All of you who are new, welcome. And for those of you who are already with us, thank y'all so much for y'all support. Like, we see y'all out there. We are seeing all of the amazing, encouraging comments and prayers that you guys have been throwing our way, and we appreciate the love and support. If you're new to this channel, go ahead and press the subscribe button. Look, follow us, you guys. On this channel, we talk about family, faith, and our lifestyle, you guys. And we just love you guys for tuning into this channel. Yeah, thank you so much, for real. Thank y'all so much for y'all support.
And so today's topic actually goes with our channel, what our channel's about, our purpose, but parenting, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So we are gonna get into this video topic, and it is a good one.
All right, y'all. So like, we already know like what it means to be a parent, right? But hey, some people don't know. But like, just basically, man, you're a parent if you're taking care of a child and you're raising them up until adulthood. Whether that's your child, adopted child, your niece, your nephew. If you're raising a child, you're bringing up a child, you're taking care of a child up until adulthood, you are a parent. And we're talking about us being parents, you guys. And just starting it off, let's talk about the goods, you know? The good, the bad, the ugly. We're going to the good first. When it comes to me being a parent, me being a father, man, to my children, and I know it's the same thing for Crystal, we wouldn't trade that for the world, you guys. Like, I would not trade being a father. And for those of you who know, y'all know here on our channel, we have 3 kids, 2 children with special needs condition. One of our son, our middle son, he is the typical child. But like, just with all of that, the different experiences that we had with each one of our children, I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world, because I love being a father. Even though it is difficult sometimes, even though it's hard, I really love being a father. I'm just gonna highlight just a few things that I love about being a parent. One thing that I love about being a parent is I get to take care of somebody. It's for me, taking care of my kids it motivates me a lot. Right. Like I'm pushing myself to the limit to become better and better every single day, just because, like, a big reason is because I have children and I love my kids and I care for my kids and I want the best for my kids. And like, for me, that's one of the best things is just having my kids when I don't have motivation, when I don't feel good. I'm motivated because I have kids. Another thing that I can say that I really, really love, my kids love me unconditionally.
Oh man, that was what I was gonna say.
Like, my kids love me unconditionally, you guys. And I know that might change when they get older. When they get older, that might change. But right now, we got little kids. And man, my heart just melt. Like, no joke. Today, you guys, like, my kids, Samson and JJ, y'all, they was waiting for me at the door when I came home off of work, you guys. And it's like, man, like, oh my gosh, just being loved by my children. Like, I love that for my kids. Just, hey, daddy made it home. Hey, daddy, hey, daddy, hey, daddy. And just hug my kids and just love them. Oh my gosh. I can tell you, as a father, I really love that. I really, for me, like, that's my best highlight is my kids bring me so much joy. The happiness that they bring in my life, the love that they bring in my life. I love it.
I mean, I'll say that's definitely the same for me. The way that they love, and even in our downfalls, like, our children, they just pour so much love into you. They're so forgiving. They're so patient. They're so kind. They're so loving. So with them loving unconditionally, it helps me to be a better parent to them, and it helps me to be just a better person overall. Another rewarding feeling, like, of being a parent for me is that, like, I get to pour into my children, and as I'm pouring into them, I'm raising them up into what I think, what God wants them to be. And so like, I get to pour into them things that just different ways. It's just so much. Like, I just get to pour into them and lift them up. And
man, Crystal, I definitely agree with you though. Like, I'm gonna just say that really fast. Like, being a parent, I love that too. Is the fact, like, you're creating a human being. You're raising a human being.
He's gonna be an adult one day.
And like, for example, the Bible, train a child up in the way that they should go, so when they get older, they won't depart. It's like, you get to literally train somebody and teach somebody, and they are a product of you.
For us, as we have boys, it's like, we get to raise our little guys to be gentlemen. Like, so like, as far as one thing for me, it's like, I love to make sure that they know how to treat a lady and how to cook. And I'm gonna name all the stuff, but like I just want them to be a good husband when it comes down to that day. Like, so it's just like now what we do at this young age, this is what's gonna train them, and this is what's gonna prepare them to be that husband or that man, that loving person.
Yeah, that person, that successful person.
Exactly.
You know, positive person.
Exactly.
Like, I can say that is very rewarding.
That's a super reward.
Just training and teaching, being able to train and teach and raise a child.
And parenting is great. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so many rewards and so like fulfilling. It really is.
No, for
but
real.
you parents out there and us, we know that it is challenging and it has its hard times too.
So, and like even with just talking about challenges, like challenges is going to be different for every parent.
True.
Like we go through all kind of different things, and it's like we don't even know. Like sometimes, you know, like the most realistic thing, like, hey, most parents we kind of know, hey, okay, you know, it's gonna be some crying nights, right? Babies most likely might cry all night long, so you're gonna be tired from
nights,
changing diapers all night long and feeding. For even moms who see, some moms they breastfeed, some moms don't. So you know, feeding your child every 3 hours, like that is difficult, especially if you didn't train yourself before. But it's like I don't know what mom out there trying to train to feed a fake baby every 3 hours.
Oh my goodness, because that was a huge challenge.
Yeah, just to get used to it. But you know, challenges could be different. But you know, I know like with us, where all of our children, like when it comes to parenting, the challenge of just trying to be the best parent. You know, I think it's challenging. That's one of the biggest challenges that I know that we faced is, you know, we try to be the best parents that we can, because with being a parent, it's a lot of pressure. I saw somebody make that post, it kind of went viral a little bit. If parenting is hard to you, that's because you a bad parent. There we go. That's what it said. If parenting is hard, is because you a bad parent. But I'm just like, man, it's a lot of pressure with parenting, because you got a lot of things that like you have to do, and if you don't do, people gonna look at you the bad way. But not only that, for me and for you, we had the pressure from the first time we had our baby. When our first child came into this world, it was the pressure of, I gotta give my baby the best life as possible. You know, and that bring pressure from,
it's huge,
from everywhere. I want to provide the best way that I can. I want to give my child the best life that they can have. With our first child, that he had a special needs condition. And so like my pressure, the pressure that I even have today, and it stays on me, and I don't think it's ever going to leave. But it's like, number one, like, man, my son does have a special needs condition, and my other son, you know, he don't have a condition. And my third child, he has a condition. So the pressure that I have on parenting, I gotta provide. Like it ain't no excuses, excuses, Josh. I don't care. Days that I don't want to go to work, I don't care. I gotta go to work because I gotta take care of my family. Days I don't feel good, I gotta take care of my family. For real. And that's good, but at the same time, it's not good. And I've been learning that in therapy. Like, you know, like, Josh, like, you know, I know you care for your kids, and you know, like, I love my kids, and I have to say this to myself. It's like, but, you know, hey, don't just be getting 3 hours of sleep because you're trying to provide for your kids. But it's just like, for me, like one of the challenges that I have is just really just, I want to provide greatly for my children in every way possible. And so like I do, you know, the challenge is I have to find that balance on, you know, like, hey, exactly what's good enough and what's not good enough, Josh. What's going overboard? Right. And what's, you know, what's the sweet spot?
And I love that. It makes me think of me. And my thing is like, when I'm not feeling the best, when I'm not feeling good, I still have to get up and I still have to do what I'm supposed to do. So I feel like even that could be a challenge. I have to do this stuff and I'm not feeling good mentally. Or if I'm sick, I'm feeling so sick, I'm feeling like this, but the kids, they still need from me. So it's still like, I have to still get up. I have to still take every ounce of whatever feels good and do something for my child. So I feel like always having to be there and needed is a reward, but it's definitely a challenge. Just trying to be there and like, you know, just be the best, just like you said, be the best that I could be for my child on any given day, any given moment. Like I feel like that is such a struggle. Like, of course, like you guys probably could relate to that.
And I know one of the challenge of us being parents and with the children that we have is the fact, like me and Crystal, some of y'all don't know this, but from the first time we had our first child, you guys, Crystal, she's been a stay-at-home mom. She's been a stay-at-home wife. She's been a homemaker. She's been taking care of the house, taking care of the kids, and taking care of me the best that she can. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all, it's so challenging because Crystal does not just want to be a stay-at-home mom. Like in the very beginning, that's not what I envisioned. Yeah, that's not how she envisioned her life to be. Like she did not envision.
And I didn't because and I'm gonna say I didn't because I had no idea that even existed. Like I didn't even know that there was a such thing as a stay-at-home mom. Just being honest, because I always saw my mom working and just women. I just see moms working, so my brain didn't even know that women stay home, or not to say that only women do this, but I'm just saying, like, for me, it's just like I didn't know that.
She didn't know that was gonna be her life.
Yeah, no, I didn't know that that was a thing. I really didn't know that. I really didn't know that that was a thing. I didn't know that one single parent stays home because both of my parents worked, so I didn't see a one parent home 24/7. So I didn't know that that was a thing that people actually do. So when it happened to me, I'm just like, oh, this is not what I expected. Like I thought, like even when I was pregnant with Samson, I thought like, okay, I'ma still be in college. That's what before I dropped out. I'm like, I'ma still finish school and I'ma still work, and the baby's gonna be taken care of. So that was like a huge struggle because like what? I didn't get anything done. I dropped out of school. I'm not working. $0 is coming to my name.
Yeah, to come to her name.
Like that was huge for me. That was huge.
And it's been that way, you guys. Check this out though. You know, we're talking about and we gonna end it talking about challenges, but the biggest challenge though is just literally we thought like life was gonna be a certain way, but after having kids we realized and like, hey, we gotta do life differently. And so like big thing, like making sacrifices. As parents, you have to make sacrifices for your children. You have to put your children before yourself. And me and Crystal, like, you know, the biggest challenge, it's not even a challenge, but like when we sit down and just think about life, this is a life that I have, this is the life that you have, but it's good though. It's great. Like I do feel great working. Like when I worked 113 hours in 1 week, I felt amazing that I was taking care of my kids. But at the same time, when I just look at myself, it's like, Josh, bro, you working 113 hours, you working 100 hours, you working 90 hours a week, bro. Like that's not good. And that's a challenge, but we're doing what we have to do to be the best parents that we can be for our kids.
Right. And I feel like even with the ugly, we could talk about the ugly too. Yeah, the ugly. I feel like one of the biggest things for me that I would consider the ugly is the opposite of what I said for the good. When I said that raising them up is so good because we could raise them to be gentlemen, we could raise them to be this and that. But I feel like the opposite is true too, where I want to make sure that I'm raising them up. It's so scary. I feel like the scariness is the part that like is the ugly. Like I'm raising them up, but I want to make sure that I'm raising them up like to be good. And it's just like I don't want them to perceive what I'm doing as, oh, she wants me to be perfect or whatever. So to basically to where I create a trauma in their brain that later on down the line when they're older, they're gonna be like, oh, my mom was so hard on me, or my mom was so this. And so I feel like that, like for me, is like a real ugly thing. It's just like it's so scary because I want my babies to love me. I want them to know that all that what I did and all the way that I raised them was because I want them to be good, or it was because I want them to just to be a good human, to be a good person and being a great adult when they get to that age. So it's just like that's like one of the biggest ugly things in my perspective, because I don't want them to see the yelling or the fussing at them or whatever. Like I don't want them to see that and it does something in their brain to where like they are are so traumatized by it when they're older.
Man, like that I'll say that is kind of like for us, you know,
For
like
us, yeah.
The ugly thing is the fact that it also goes just with having pressure, you know?
Yeah.
Like things that we've been through, how we were raised, the bad things, like the really bad things that we've been through with, you know, being raised, or the things that we saw. We don't want that for our kids. And like, it's like real deal. What I find to be the ugly part is, and I love my dad. And I do believe that my dad was a great father, but he did have some things that, you know, and ain't nobody perfect, so I don't care. You got a perfect parent, you know, man, that is really good. I ain't gonna say that, like, that is really good, man, that you had a perfect parent. But like, my dad has some flaws, and so like the ugly thing about parenting for me is the fact that before, and I'm working on it, and it's a continuous thing that I'm working on, but sometimes I see myself doing negative things to my children that was done to me.
Wow.
And you know, it's like, like some things is like, I don't want my kids to have that trauma or to feel the way that I felt, the negative side of me, you know, when I was a kid. But you know, when it comes to parenting, like the ugly truth is like, you do have to be better than your parents.
And you have to heal. You have to be healed. And so it's just like trying to navigate healing and all these different things from your childhood trauma, and trying to make sure that you don't put it onto your child is so tough.
No, for real. But and look, I'm gonna even say this. You know, the ugly thing about parenting, the most ugly thing about parenting, and this is what I say for us, is really you learn as you go. Like before we was parents, like we we did a lot of studying or whatever. We don't know crap. Like that's the ugliest thing.
Part about
like
it.
that's the ugliest thing about, I think, being a parent, is the fact that you really don't know nothing, and you're learning, having to learn and
unlearn, relearn.
Yeah, unlearn, relearn, all of that. Having to relearn all these things, and like, so me and Crystal, we see this with Samson. That was our first child. We learned so many things, and we made some mistakes.
Oh yeah.
And like, that's the ugly thing, is like, dang, like I'm gonna make some mistakes as a parent, and I don't want to make no mistake. But
so hard.
Like the ugly thing is like, you gonna make mistakes, but we have to learn from those things. And like, from our first child to our second child to our third child, like we've been learning and learning and learning and learning and learning and
I
learning.
don't think we ever gonna stop learning.
Yeah, and growing. And so it's like, the ugly thing is just like, man, like I'm not gonna be perfect.
Yes.
You know, it's like, I want to be perfect.
We want to be perfect.
But the ugly truth is,
we're not gonna be perfect.
We're not gonna be perfect, and you're not gonna be perfect either.
That is such ugly truth. Like, we just not gonna be perfect, even though we want to so bad. Like, we're just not gonna be perfect.
We're not gonna be perfect, and it's the ugly truth. But you don't have to give up, and you don't have to be discouraged, because you're not gonna know what to do when your kid get tissue stuck up their nose.
Oh God.
You know what I'm saying? Just different things like that, you know?
Yes, literally.
Or you know, like you freak out when your kid smash their hand, or you freak out when y'all get in a car accident and your children in the car and they hurt, and it's like, I don't know what to do. You know,
we're just not gonna know it all. There's no way that we can know it all. So it's just like, that's where like we even, I guess, transition to the next point. We have to have grace for ourselves as parents. We have to have forgiveness for ourselves.
Yes,
we have to have
grace. Give ourselves grace.
Oh my goodness, we have to have grace for ourselves.
Yes.
That is so huge. Grace, forgiveness,
having patience. Yeah, like, I mean, like,
with ourselves.
Yeah, right? With ourselves, because as parents, we not gonna know it all. We're gonna experience new things, and like, really, like, the only thing that we can do, you know, we gotta be patient with ourselves, and not even only that, loving ourselves.
Yes,
because
that's huge.
Like, one thing I do know, when kids get older, if you did the very best that you can do, your kids will know, and when they get older and become parents, they'll understand.
That is so true. Like, you ain't gonna understand until, well, like, the kids are not gonna understand until they become parents.
Why mommy did this, why daddy did this. It is later on in life where kids understand. And I know this for an example, because for me, y'all, my father, he passed away when I was 18 years old. And when my father passed away, it wasn't until like later on, like, I was realizing, wow, he did this because of this. And then when I had my first child, my second child, my third child, I'm like, wow, I got so much respect for my father because as a man, I understood that's why my dad did this.
Right.
He didn't have a choice. Like, you know, like
things just start to make so much more sense because it comes into perspective. Like, oh my goodness, I have a whole little real human being that I have to care for and take care of and like make sure they live and, you know, just all these different, it's so much that goes into being a parent that like once you look back, it's just like, oh my goodness, this actually makes sense. Even going a little bit into detail, but like just like with my parents and my dad, he's just like always clean the house, clean this,
I'm like,
oh my goodness. Like as a teenager, I'm like, dude, I don't have to clean every single weekend.
Hey, now she cleaning up every day, y'all.
But it's like, it just makes sense.
Thank you, Pop. Hey, you done a great job.
It just makes so much sense. Like when I look back at it, it's just like, dang. So now when my kids get a teenager,
clean.
It just goes. We hope that you guys like really took something from what we said. We hope that it inspired you. We're relatable. Like, bruh, we understand so much that parenting is so beautiful, so good, so great, but it also has its challenges. So we want you guys to continue along in your journey. You know, we hope that this inspired you in some way to let you know that you're doing a great job with what you're doing. We're doing the best that we can do. So we just wanted to leave you guys with that.
I mean, and just to say this, like, you know, the final thing, like nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect, you guys. And like even with me and Crystal, I know we get a lot of comments on, a lot of people admire us and say we're great parents, and I do believe we're good parents.
Yeah,
but at the same time, we're bad parents as well because not bad parents, but I mean, we got stuff that we need to work on. Like, I'll just say that to be true. Like, we got stuff that we need to work on. We're loving talking about family. We're loving talking about our family, our experiences, you know, as parents, as husband and wife, as mother and father with special needs children, and all of these things. We love talking about it. So anyone who, you know, want to ask us questions about, you know, things about parenting that, you know, that we deal with, that we don't deal with, hey, go ahead and comment down below, you know, ask us questions or even share your own experience. Share your own with parenting, your struggles, the good things that you love about parenting, because we really want to, you know, just build a community, you know, and build conversation.
What I was about to say. We're just building a community and we're building conversation. We just want to communicate with you guys and just let, like, you know, just have a place, a safe space where we can be together talking. We actually respond to the comments and details sometimes, you know, like there's always room for growth on every end, basically.
Yes. Give us some tips, y'all. Look, I'm 25, she's 26. We don't know it all. We know a lot, but we don't know it all. We don't know it all. So y'all, we're going to end this video, guys, but we hope to see y'all in this next video. But hey, share this video, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you guys on the next video. All right, peace out.